Bourbon, Belts, Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Tim.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the show where we sip on some bourbon, we talk about some wrestling, and then we talk about some blockbusters. We are back for episode 31. The bourbon cash-in was Ryan's this week. You're going to find that on our TikTok and our Instagram. It's quite the one. I think you guys will enjoy this one.
Yes,
thoroughly.
I think it'll turn out quite nicely.
Yes. Man. You want to lead us through the bourbon and what we got?
Absolutely, man. So what we got here is the Copper Still bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey. It is what I thought was something cool about these bottles, and I actually looked at the other bottles there. I got this at Total Wine. I think it was $38.
Okay.
Like ticket price was $38. So then I don't remember what it exactly was when I walked out, but not too pricey. It was probably like, Total Wine, how it looks. It's got, like their top shelf, bottom shelf stuff. It was, upper middle, somewhere right there.
Okay.
And what I thought was really cool about this was they actually write on the label, or I'm sure it's like printed, but it looks like it's handwritten, the batch number, the barrel number, and then the bottle number from that barrel.
Oh,
for
cool.
all of them. So I was like, wait, are you? I was like, for real? And I moved it and looked at a couple of the other bottles, and it was like the one behind it was 155. This one's 156, and the one behind that was 154. So it was like, it actually, they literally marked them differently for each bottle. So I thought that was pretty sweet. It's a short blurb, but on the back it just says, our award-winning bourbon is made from sweet corn and a hint of spicy rye to give a perfect balance of sweetness and spice.
Okay.
All right. I don't have, honestly, a ton of information about this outside of the fact that I picked it up and I was looking at it, and I was looking at this one and two others, and the guy that was working there on the aisle, I didn't ask him, didn't talk to him or anything. He just kind of was walking by and he goes, "That's a really good one." And I was like, "Yeah?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's smooth. It's really nice." And then there was another, they had 3 or 4 different types of Copper Still bourbon. Yeah. And I picked up another one, and he was like, "That one's higher rye. It's going to be a little bit more of a spicier note to it." So this one has more of a kind of nutty flavor to it. So that's what it is. Copper Still, got it from Total Wine up in South Hill, Puyallup.
Sweet. Let's get to it.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Dude,
damn,
it is smooth.
There's no burn,
and I get
there's
that. I get that nutty feel, that nutty taste.
Way in the back right now, but
just on the way down.
Damn, yeah. That description on the back is exact.
It literally
very sweet, hint of spice. That's really nice. I didn't mean to rhyme there either, but I did.
I think I'm gonna need another finger of that later on.
Yep.
That one is really good.
You'll get a finger.
Promise. I'm going to give this one, I'm going 8.5.
Okay.
8.5.
Nice.
I really do enjoy it. I can tell this is going to be a easy drink throughout the episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going with a 9 on it. I was hovering, right? I was like 8.5, 9, 8.5, 9. And I was like, I'm going with a 9 on it. I really like this. It's really nice.
Thank you, guy at Total Wine, for the recommendation.
You know what I really wish that either of us had was the ability to talk like bourbon connoisseurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a handful of people that I follow on TikTok, and I actually haven't done it yet, but I'm working up a little bit of courage, but also just what I would want to say, because there's 2 specific that I want to just send them a message on TikTok from our TikTok account. Yeah. And just hey, really love your content. Any recommendations, stuff like that. Me and my buddy, you know what I mean? We're new, up and coming, but he is a bourbon dude. So and he's fucking awesome. Yeah. But the one main guy specifically, and he's always he takes a drink, or at first he sits there and sniffs it, and he's like, oh man, he says like on the nose, and he gives like all these hints about things, and I'm just like, that's so impressive.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm like, on the nose, smells like sweet alcohol. I don't know that well.
No,
we enjoy bourbon, but we are not in any way, shape, or form bourbon connoisseurs or educated in that realm of things. I would love to be. I would love to get there, and I hope it's eventually I do. But,
no, I agree. I
just enjoy the taste, but I couldn't tell you the different hints and notes of things.
But when you
without
talk
reading
about it,
yeah, exactly.
And then it does, it
for
comes
sure.
through.
Definitely start like the sweet and spice. It's like I got that exactly as it read while I was drinking that. Just like on ones before where we've read things, it's like I wouldn't tell you that.
Yeah,
just out of nowhere. Like I'm not gonna drink one and be like, yes, I get a little like this dude that I watch. He's fucking awesome. He's like, there's like stone fruit. And he's just like naming all this stuff. And I'm just like, what the fuck? That's so awesome. But anyways,
but we digress.
One big pikey on TikTok is who he is. He's fucking awesome, and he's just this buff, like big buff dude that's just like. It just seems like a cool fucking hang, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, all right. And he does all sorts of like drink reviews and stuff, and like people will comment different. And what's awesome about him, when not when he's doing necessarily the bourbon things, but when he's doing like a mixed cocktail or he'll do like seltzers or whatever, he chugs the whole thing. Like he'll make a full pint of whatever it is, and he just and then he always does like this fucking awesome review.
That's awesome.
Great. And he is straight up honest, like. Because like some things will like send him certain things, and like he always says like, yeah, I'll do this live on the thing, but he's like, I'm going to be brutally honest with my feedback. Like I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it and make you guys look better than you are if I don't think you are, type of thing. And he's very honest about it, and that's why I really enjoy him. He's awesome. You have to look him up.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Any hoozle,
right,
we got our socials. We are at Trip B Pod on Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. We are on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Podcasts, Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts and Blockbusters, as we've mentioned before. And we have our Gmail account. It is triplebpod619@gmail.com if you want to hit us up, interact with us, send us information, send us ideas, send us new bourbons for us to try. We would love that. Any and all interaction with anybody is we're here for it. So we have enjoyed the little bit of interaction that we've had so far. So hit us up, and
sounds good to me. All right, Ryan. So we got the return of our fact check. This is your week. This is where you go through the previous episode and call us out on our bullshit or clear things up. So what do you got?
I have just a few things. I only have 5 things. From last week's episode. It was again fairly clean, and it wasn't like I waited until last second this time to do it, so I wasn't like rushing through it. I full blown was just like into it, listening to it. I was driving Lainey around while she napped, which is so much fun. But it does give me the opportunity to listen to the podcast because I don't drive pretty much anywhere else. So only a few things. Only got 5 things. First and foremost, we had said, technically, I guess you had said this, but that the Women's Intercontinental Finals would take place on this coming Monday's.
That was
Netflix
the one I was talking
premiere.
about.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
And they actually, like, I thought that was true as well. Like, I was like, oh yeah, totally, that makes sense. But
I read it on a reputable
on
website.
Monday this last week,
he said it was the
Wade Barrett
week.
said that it was going to be in 2 weeks' time, and I was like, wait, what? And then I did look it up. It is going to be the finals will be on January 13th,
and that was in my fact check last week. I read it from a reputable website, and when I heard that part, and that was the part I was alluding to before we started recording.
Yeah. So it'll actually be on the second episode on Netflix, but coming within the next week and 2 days. So that's exciting. Continuing on with the women's IC, we kind of just like were spitting back and forth like what the combos of those matchups were going to be, and we weren't 100% sure on them. but it was and did end up being Dakota Kai versus Zoe Stark, and then Io Sky versus Lyra. Oh my God, why am I
Valkyria?
Yeah, thank you, Valkyria. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I spacing on her last name? That's that, and those matches did take place. And then the Handmaid's Tale actress. We could not remember her name. Neither of us could. It's Elizabeth Moss. Yes. Who was in the Invisible Man remake as well. That's where that whole thing came from. We talked about, we were talking about how Christopher Nolan's next movie is actually going to be a live action adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey. And I had kind of thrown out that it was written in like the 7th or 8th century BC. I was correct. It was the 8th century BC. Oh, wow. I was like, let's
he knows this
go.
Shit.
Yeah, I know my Homer poems. Okay. No, that's not true at all. I had read something about it before that episode, but then I just said it and I was like, fuck, I don't know if that was actually the right time frame, but it was 8th century BC. And just fun fact for it, it was published in English in 1614.
Okay.
So 410 years ago.
Wow.
It was published in English, which is just fucking crazy
that
to think
is
about.
crazy.
410 years ago. And then the last one I have, we could not remember the actor's name because we were talking about Happy Gilmore 2 and how Shooter McGavin and Happy and the little quick 30-second trailer that we got for it on whatever day it was, they met in a cemetery.
Yeah.
Right. And we had talked about it could have been the Jackass guy, or it could have been for Chubbs, or it could have been for Bob Barker. That how they're potentially a way they're going to play homage to one of those 3 actors who were in the original that have since passed, and we couldn't remember the Jackass guy's name. It is Joe Flaherty.
That's right.
Flaherty. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but that's who it is. He's the guy that was like, "Hey, Happy, you're not going to make this putt, you jackass." Yeah, so that's all I got for the fact check. It was a pretty clean, for the most part, episode. If this is another thing we should throw out to socials, if anyone is watching and you guys notice that we missed something from a fact check,
I like it.
Hit us up, send it to us, because we will definitely, call us on it. We will definitely throw it back out there. But that's what we got.
All right, man.
As long as I didn't miss something.
That brings us to football, baby. Hawks are 9-7.
Yep.
They are eliminated from the playoffs. They needed quite a bit of things to happen to go their way for this week to be meaningful. And
we needed, first off, just last week's games, we needed 3 of 6 different things to go our way, and only 1 of the 6, or I guess technically 2 of the 6 went our way. But the Monday night one no longer mattered after the Sunday night one. Yeah, we are eliminated. But then had we gotten 3 of the 6 to happen, there was I looked at it because I read another article that was like, alternate universe. What if what we needed last week happened?
Yeah.
What would we need this week? So essentially with Arizona losing last week to the Rams, if 3 of those 6 games would have gone, there was it was 8 or 9 games that we would have needed to fall certain ways. So the chances of us getting into the playoffs over the strength of flipping essentially the strength of victory, tiebreaker, was so small.
Gotcha.
And essentially once Arizona lost last Saturday, it was just kind of like, all right, it's over. But the hope was still there for a little bit, and it made us a little more interested in some of the games that took place last week.
Hell yeah, man.
Specifically Atlanta and Washington. How the fuck? I know he's not your actual full-time kicker. I know he is a kicker you guys had to sign at some point because whatever his name is. Yeah, Young Wei Koo or hung like a Koo. I don't know what his name is.
Last name.
Was injured. I get that. But how the fuck are you an NFL kicker that comes up almost 10 fucking yards short on a 54-yard kick? or 57 or whatever it was,
Yeah.
56, somewhere in there. I get that's not an easy kick. I get that's still far. Anything over 50 is not a gimme.
But coming up.
But dude, you had it dick straight. You had that dead center down the uprights. But you were fucking 10, like, it was so short.
Yeah.
It landed in like, maybe not 10 yards, but it landed like in the middle of the end zone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, like, air time and the trajectory of it coming down, like, it's still pretty fucking close to being 10 yards shy of making it. Like, how the fuck, man? Because that wins the game. You win the game right there. Mm-hmm. You win the game. Fuck.
No.
And now that I know that we needed like another 8 or 9 different fucking outcomes to then fall our way, whatever. Okay, it is what it is. Fuck the Cardinals for being pussy ass little bitches.
They just really fell off the cliff after we beat them.
Their fucking tight end, to literally the play that ended that game.
Yeah.
Which, like, people can talk shit about Kyler Murray all you want. He put that ball in the fucking perfect spot. Yeah. The tight end turned around and took it to the face. The ball went off of his face mask.
And then picked off.
Where the fuck are your hands, dude? What are you are a fucking tight end. You are running an out route, which is a quick fucking throw. How do you turn around and not have your fucking hands ready for the ball? That's what I don't understand. Like, you are taught that from a young age. When you make your break and you're expecting the ball, get your fucking hands up. Get your hands ready. The fact that it hit him in the fucking face is so goddamn annoying to me. And then that is all sorts of other shit happened earlier in the season that fucked our season. I get that. But when it comes down to it and you are like, we need this to even have a chance, and that's how it fucking ends, is so frustrating.
Yeah, that
as a
is.
fan. You're just like, God damn it.
Should
the Seahawks have handled their shit earlier in the year to not be in that situation? Obviously.
Should not have lost to the Giants.
We shouldn't have lost to the Giants. We
Or in
shouldn't
the
have probably lost
OT.
to, in OT to the Rams. We probably shouldn't have lost to the Vikings.
No.
But we did.
Yeah.
We win those 3 games. We're like the number 3 seed in the NFC.
Yep.
Like, we win those 3 games right there. We already have a playoff spot locked up. So
Any given Sunday, man.
any given Sunday, that's the way football works. Let's get over the bitching and the venting about it. It is what it is. It's in the books. Seahawks are eliminated from the postseason. No worries. My question for you, Tim, is this game tomorrow against the Rams, Week 18. We know they're sitting people. They have no reason not to. They're locked into where they're at.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they might be able to drop to the 4 seed if they were to. No, I don't even think so. I think they're locked in the 3.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I think they're locked in the 3 because the Eagles are going to be the 2, and then the winner of the Sunday night game is going to be the 1.
no, that's not. I think there's a scenario where between
the Eagles could be the
Tampa
1, but
Bay and Atlanta might be I think.
But I don't
Tampa
think they
can
could jump
be-
to 3.
No. We'll have to
Maybe.
fact check
I
that,
guess,
or
yeah.
I guess it'll just play out and it'll be easy fact check.
Yeah.
But anyways, I get what you're saying.
Well, because and the reason I'm thinking that is, why would the Rams sit people?
That's true.
If they don't have,
they're locked in.
if they have a potential to drop to the 4th.
I mean, they get a home game regardless, so
Yeah, I guess. But would you rather play
that's true.
the
I mean, the
4th,
top 2
or
seeds
would you
are-
rather play the 5th, or would you rather play the 6th? Because in this situation right now, you're looking at the 5th seed, which would be who the 4th seed plays. Mm-hmm. You're looking at the 5th seed being the loser of the Sunday night game
Yeah, that's
between
true. Yeah.
Detroit and the Vikings. Or you're playing against
Then you're probably
what
right.
would be the Commanders or the Packers.
Yeah.
Like, of those 3, who do you want to play the least? Probably the loser of the Sunday night game, right? So, like, if you have the chance, like, that's why I'm wondering. Like, I feel like they're just kind of locked into the 3.
Yeah. I think you're right then.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you? The question here is, what do you want? What do you want to see from the Seahawks tomorrow in this game, knowing that we're eliminated from the playoffs? Our season's over after tomorrow. The off season's right now, literally a day around the corner. And like, what are the things that you're expecting to see from this team? What do you want to see happen?
I think first and foremost, I want to see JSN just continue the season, just have a strong game.
Yeah.
And I think he's very close to 100 receptions. Or no, he broke that last game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he broke 100.
I just want to see his game continue to go.
He's only like, because he only got he only had like 3 catches for 38 yards or something last week. So I want to say he's like 4 receptions away from tying Tyler Lockett's franchise record for receptions on a season.
Yeah.
And like 5 receptions away from breaking it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would love to see him get both those things. I feel like Tyler Lockett would love to see him get both those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to see that happen. I want to see a balanced game. I want to see our run game and passing game be good, and then just have a strong defensive showing. Just close out the year how after the second half of the year went. I want them to have a strong showing, and just want to see them win against the Rams. Because they're the Rams, and just shut them up.
Yeah.
I know they're in the playoffs, but they're
hopefully
a one and done.
I know they're going to be sitting people. I think, like, for me, it's, and this might be a surprise to you. I want to see Grubb call a good game. Mm-hmm. I want to see Grubb save his job. Yeah. Because I honestly feel like, and I'm not the only one that feels like this, because I read a lot of fucking articles about the Seahawks each week, each and every week. That's my poop time. No joke. If I'm not researching for the podcast, I'm reading about the Seahawks while I'm pooping. And on the toilet is one of the only quiet moments that I get in my life. So I take advantage of it. And
you don't got anyone knocking on the door? You doing okay in there? Hanging in there?
No, she knows.
I'm rooting for you.
she knows. When I go to the bathroom, I'm researching things. I'm sitting there. I'm going to come out stumbling because my legs are asleep. It's going to take me another 2 to 3 business days to be able to walk straight again because of the feelings coming back into my feet. So, but yeah, so I've just read a lot of stuff that, like, I'm not alone in the thought process of Grubb could very well be one and done. Mm-hmm. I'm not alone in that. It's very rare for a college OC to come into the NFL without any previous experience and be successful right away. Yeah. It's very rare. And a lot of the times they do turn into one and dones or two and dones maybe. I just feel like it's such a fragile situation with the way this season went and the expectations that there were around the offense, with literally everybody returning outside of a couple of the offensive linemen. And they just overtly underperformed. And yeah, so what I would like to see is Grubb, even against backups. I don't care. I would like to see, because they're not seeing everybody, right? A good portion of their defense is still going to be playing, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. I would like to see Grubb call a balanced game, like you said. I'd like to see him call a good game, not even just balanced, because you can be balanced and still make bad calls. Yeah. I want to see situational play calling that is good and is showing growth on the season, because if he can do that and he can get out of week 18 with that, he might be able to save his job. Obviously, I'm not John Schneider. I'm not Mike McDonald. I don't know what they're thinking on that front.
I will give Grubb some credit. The offense was a lot more fun to watch this year than previous years.
I 100% agree with you on that.
I agree 100% with you.
He did bring a kind of pizzazz to the play calling that we hadn't seen before, and we have referenced that earlier in the season on the podcast. Is that, like, instead of it just being like, oh, we're gonna go run, incomplete punt. Yeah. Now it's like they're throwing screens on first down, first and long. They're actually doing other things. That being said, there's the whole other side to it where 100%. It's just the situational. It's just like, okay. And the red zone woes are glaringly bad. And like it's hard to look past the talent that we have and the size that we have with people in the red zone. And we
weren't successful.
Have to be towards, if not the bottom of the league in red zone offense, like scoring offense in the red zone.
Yeah.
It was just, it was bad. So that's what that's the number one thing I would like to see. And then the second thing was, you took it right out of my mouth, was just, I want to see the defense finish strong, and just carry this into the off season, pick up a couple extra pieces in the draft and whatnot. But I think primarily free agency, whatever we're able to do in free agency. And then even like our own re-signings and stuff primarily are all like, we need to restructure contracts and we need to let some people go to save money. And I think the offseason needs to be a focus on the offense this year. And specifically the line.
Yeah.
And John Schneider has never shown an ability to do that. So hopefully that can change too.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I agree. It's been a fun season.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had hope when
we did.
We probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But they turned things around real quickly and proved they are a young team, but a force to be reckoned with. So,
and the chance to get a 10-win season under a first-time head coach.
That's awesome.
Even if we miss the playoffs with a 10-win season, shit happens. We hosted a fucking playoff game at 7-9 years ago. You know, so like shit happens. Do I agree with it necessarily? No, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And we can get to 10 wins tomorrow, and that's a really good season 1 for Mike McDonald under his belt. Anyhoozle.
That brings us to our wellness journey check-in number 11. Ryan, how are you doing over there? We had Christmas and New Year's in between.
Yeah. So weight-wise, I'm the same. I didn't go up. I didn't go down. I'm right on that same level I was before. It was like 231.5, 231.4, somewhere in there. So that's just weight wise. And most other, which I was actually a little bummed about when I got on the scale this morning, because I had expected to go down a little bit because I've actually been grinding. Like I've been like fully back on my game. I've been going to the gym, and I've been going hard at the gym. I'm not hurting right now, which is nice. Food decisions have been, considering those holidays and everything in there, and like having multiple different Christmases that we did.
That's true.
We did essentially 4 Christmases, right?
Nice.
Like, yeah. And so like considering all of that and all of the food and beverages that could be consumed, I did pretty goddamn good. And me and Lindsay have been getting back on things. Lindsay's been she's back into it now, which is super helpful. And so my weigh-in this morning was a little disappointing because I didn't drop any. I think I'm just kind of at that plateau right now where I'm kind of like, I'm gonna be there until I gotta kick the food into gear even more so, I think.
Yeah.
Without it being unsustainable. That's the thing, and that's the hard part, is like trying to figure out like what are the other little tweaks and changes I need to make in the diet nutritionally that can help get me over this little hump I'm at. But that is also something that is long time sustainable, because it's like it's easy to just be like, oh yeah, cut out carbs, but it's like that's not a fucking realistic long term thing, right? Like all these fad diets and all these different things, like it's not a realistic thing. So Lindsay and I have really been talking about, like, we started juicing again, which that is sustainable. It's just, we drink like 12 to 16 ounces of juice that we make at home. With, we got like beets and ginger and different fruits and veggies and stuff all in it, which is just helpful for cleansing purposes. It actually it makes me feel a lot better in the mornings when I do that too, because it like takes away like morning bloat and stuff like that. Like I feel better, especially when I take it before I go to the gym in the morning. That's really nice. But I think our main focus is getting back onto planning food throughout the week. So like we usually sit down on Sundays and we have like a whiteboard, essentially a whiteboard that's magnetic to our fridge that we like write out each week. Like, what are we doing for lunch? What are we doing for dinner? All of these weeks, or all these days throughout the week, and plan it out, because when it's planned out and written, we're more likely to stick to it as opposed to being like, what are we going to do tonight? Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's order pizza, like something like that, or let's get takeout, or let's go out somewhere or whatever. It just makes it a lot more easier to follow. And we're getting back onto when we cook at home. When we cook food, it's primarily plant-based.
Gotcha.
When we go out, we can, we eat whatever for the most part. When we go out, we're not like super strict, but when we're cooking at home, it's primarily plant-based.
Gotcha.
So, and if it's not, it's, we have a meat, but like for the most part, we're like cutting out dairy again and all sorts of stuff like that. So I think it's really just that it's the food part of it that really, we got to get back under full control and do that. But I think it's just the fact that stayed where I was at through the holidays, and have even seen like from before Thanksgiving, have even seen like a small dip, a small loss, but a loss is a loss over the course of these last 2 months. Yeah, that's a win. I'm taking that. I'm pretty happy with that. What about you?
Yeah, I gained half a pound. I did, but I'm actually not disappointed with that just because of food decisions I did make over the holidays and everything. And so seeing just half a pound gain was pretty good. Yeah. But I like you, you threw out this thing where we're going to hold each other accountable, which I really like. And it's just sending a text message or whatever saying, hey, we're committing to 3 times a week.
Yep. At least 3 times a week. If we can get over that, fuck yeah. But 3 times a week is the goal. And we're just going to send each other, like when you do 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, just send it to each other throughout the week. Cause then it's like, I don't know. I'm going to take a guess here, but I don't know if this is actually part of it or not, but I feel like it pushed you a little more to get to the gym those 3 days this week, because when I texted you that, you had only done 1. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I texted you that on Thursday, I think. Yeah. Right. So it was like you said you were at 1 of 3, and you saw that I that day had done 3 of 3, and you were like, fuck, I got to get my ass to the gym. I feel like, at least. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think I would have gone there 2 times at least, but to push the 3rd time today, I thought it was great, so I'm excited for that, and it was just fun and felt good to be going send you that text saying 3 out of 3 today.
And exactly, and that was my whole goal, because me and Lindsay are doing that too. Yeah. And that's why I texted you, because I was like, hey, me and Lindsay are doing this. I think it could be helpful for us, because it's been huge for both of us just doing this on the podcast and talking about it, and we're kind of pushing each other. But it's only every 2 weeks we talk about it once. We haven't talked about it really to each other outside of this.
True. Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck, why are we not? Yeah. Like, literally just a simple text each day that either of us goes to the gym could literally be that change that we need to be like, fuck, I have somebody counting on me to get there, because like we have goals with this. We have things that we want to get. We have things we want to do once we get there. Yep. And so it's like, all right, if you're busting your ass to get there and get to the gym to make sure you're getting there those 3 days, and I have to be doing the same thing. 100%. And so it works really well.
100%.
So I think that will be huge. I think for me specifically, getting back to work will be big, because I'm getting back into a routine where I'm not just home, or because that's the thing on break. I love being on break because I get to relax. But when I'm home all day, I'm just like, I need a snack. And it sucks, but that's just the way it is. Yeah. And luckily, we have done a pretty decent job of not just keeping snack foods in the house all the time. Yeah. But I always manage to find something. Yeah. But I have been doing a lot better. But it's just getting back into that routine, being up on my feet more frequently throughout the day. And then up in the gym, and me and Lindsay have kind of set because she kind of set days that she's going to be going to the gym too. And then on the days where she works, we're going to make sure that like dinner and everything is like an easy day that day, so that we can go on a walk before we put Lainey down. Nice. It's like, we're going to be getting extra stuff in. And I think like all of those things, I think this next month that we have, when we do the next check-in in 2 weeks, and then the one towards the end of the month or at the beginning of February, whenever that lines up, I'm hoping it'll start to see better results.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think, no real challenges other than the holidays. It was just the holidays are a bitch, but it could have been worse too, right?
Yeah.
And just to gain a half pound, like I said, big success, I think, and also look forward to the end of month check-in because I think that's where I'll see the most bang for the buck. So
one challenge I did have that I did myself
Uh-huh.
because I was going to go to the gym this morning, but I got a tattoo yesterday.
yeah,
And I was like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I like texted my sister-in-law. I was like, hey, would you be around tomorrow morning to watch Lainey so Lindsay and I can both go to the gym, for like an hour or so? And she was pretty much like, yeah, of course. And then I told Lindsay, like, hey, Amber said she's good. And Lindsay was like, we literally just got tattoos this morning.
yeah.
We shouldn't go to the gym yet and get all sweaty. It's an open wound.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck. So I like Googled it and everything I read was pretty much like, wait at least 48 hours before you go to the gym after you get a tattoo. I was like, God damn it. Cause I was going to get 4 out of 3 this week, but then I was like, fuck. So yeah. But anyways, that's really the only challenges were just like you said, just that stuff. So
Nice.
fuck yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to, I feel like we're back in a groove.
I think so too.
We're gonna be rocking it. So
Hell yeah, man.
hell yeah, good things.
And you
to come.
can help. We can help each other get through that, because everyone does pretty well. January, new year, new me.
But the nice thing is we've been doing this since the end of August.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
So it's like this isn't new for us. It's not like going to the gym and like for me, I've been going to 9 round. I just hit my 400th workout this last week. I think it was on Thursday. It was on Tuesday. And so it's like I've been going for a few years now, and so it's like New Year's resolutions aren't really something necessarily that I lean into all that much. Mm-hmm. I just have like goals, and sometimes I'll take New Year to like reset certain things, but like when it comes to the gym, for me, like the whole go hard in January and then fall off really isn't a thing for me because it's just like this is kind of I look at it more of like this is my lifestyle. This is what I do.
Yeah.
Do I fall out sometimes and go less or eat poorly? Yes, of course. But January itself isn't like a thing for me.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
But
we're gonna hold each other accountable. And
regardless.
Get through
and we're gonna get through any rut that we got, any obstacles. We're looking out for each other.
Hell yeah, man. All right. That brings us to
belts. Let's get to it.
Well, let's get to it. What a week in wrestling. I just want to say, what a week.
Yeah. Goddamn.
It was a week.
You want to talk about the final network episode of Raw and then the season premiere of SmackDown? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking just back-to-back bangers. I didn't watch NXT. My assumption is it probably rocked too.
It rocked.
Because NXT always rocks.
It always does.
I need to watch it. I just don't. I you know how my times are.
You got to do it, man.
But
do it.
Yeah, I should.
All right, man.
So
that brings me to
hit me. What do we want to do?
Ryan, what do you want to talk about?
Timmy! This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Raw as a whole first. That's just it. I just want to talk about the entirety of the show from open to fucking close. It was the best. I want to say it was seriously like one of if not the best Raws that we've had all year.
Yeah, from start to finish.
I
would agree with that.
Fucking good. Like it was seriously really well done. And this is coming after we just talked about last week how like we're in that filler mode. Granted, this year is obviously a little different. That's the last episode on network TV before it goes to Netflix. So like I think that was kind of they pushed that to be more of a bang. But dude, that's what you should be that should be your goddamn goal every fucking week is a show like that. Like it shouldn't be a special thing. That's why the show's gonna be so good. Like that should be your fucking goal every week is as a creative team and as writers and everything. Like that's what you should be striving for because that show had me locked in from start to fucking finish.
Yeah.
and like it was so fucking good. And I watched it live.
Oh,
like,
nice.
I watched it that night, and
That's
so I was
awesome.
just like, "Fuck, dude, this is so good." It was phenomenal. It was seriously so good.
I agree with you, and it's funny you say that. I had that same thought as I finished SmackDown today. I was just like, dude, I know it's not easy to write 52 weeks of the year plus PLEs and any special events, but they can write that pretty regularly. That would keep anyone like just tuning in.
So fucking good.
It was a
both shows
very
were
strong
fucking
week.
awesome. Yeah.
But couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
I want to talk about just the Raw highlight video that went through the years. It was like that just quick recap of Thank You USA and every end of an era. It gave me chills.
Yeah,
it was just so many memories coming back. It was such a good video. It was
man.
like
It really was.
it was. I watched it numerous times and just like I said, crazy to think that it's no longer going to be on cable.
I know.
And
It's obviously the first time, but it's been 30 years?
31 years?
31 years?
Or no, because 93, I think, was the first
93
Raw.
was the first Raw. So yeah, 31 years.
Yeah.
Fuck,
so it's
dude.
crazy to think about that. I'm keeping my expectations low about any changes that are going to happen, but I think they have potential to do a lot more being on a streaming platform
And
such as Netflix.
Speaking to that, and I was a little giddy to be able to talk about this. This isn't actually one of the things I want to talk about, but I'm just kind of bouncing off of you because it was a perfect segue. You just brought it up. The show that got me into podcasts and then wanting to do a podcast and then specifically wanting to do a podcast with you is, and I've told you about it before and I've talked about it on here before, is Two Bears, One Cave. It's Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. You still haven't watched it, I'm assuming, right? They're two comedians. They're best friends. They're fucking hilarious. And I've watched their podcast pretty much from the get-go. It came out, I want to say it came out like late 19. Yeah, late like 2019, I think. Because I was still living at Adams and I was driving from Ording to work, and that was when I was listening to podcasts the most. So that's just like my favorite show, and that's what really got me into listening to podcasts and then me wanting to do one, because I'm like, they're literally just two best friends that just sit there and fucking bullshit. I was like, that's phenomenal. I want to do that. And yeah, so that, and then another thing that obviously we have always bonded over and was one of the main three things that got us into wanting to do this specific podcast and this show is wrestling. Their guest this last Monday was WWE champion Cody Rhodes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's
Which
awesome.
was actually shocking to me. I was surprised. Not on Bert's side, because Bert and Cody are actually friends. They know each other. They did the Go Big show together.
Okay.
In 2020, 2021. I think there were only like 2 seasons of it. Bert was like the host of the show. So he was like up on stage talking, and then Cody was one of the judges.
Gotcha.
But Tom has always talked mad shit about professional wrestling. And so it was just funny to see him on there. They have a little banter back and forth about it. But anyways, Cody on that show, actually, they like asked like, you know, like, you're on a Netflix, like how's that going to look? What's it going to be? You know, stuff like that. And Cody Rhodes actually said, he's like, it's definitely going to be different than what people are used to, but there's also going to be a lot of the same and similarities. So I think that's kind of, just to go off what you were just saying, is like, that's kind of, I think you can kind of expect there are going to be some differences. There are going to be some changes. There are like, things are going to look different. Things are going to flow probably a little differently. But then there's still going to be a lot of
Well,
the
we
same,
already know.
Yeah. Product and stuff. So
That's what I mean. I'm excited for the Netflix.
I am too,
I'm
man.
super excited for it, but I've also watched many years of wrestling, and they say big things, and it could turn out to be, more of just the same, but different place. So, but no, I think it's going to be a good thing. It's exciting and ready for Monday.
And the Raw Netflix premiere, you and still possibly, or for sure? Still possibly, Haley, are going to be coming to my place to watch it, and so is Nathan and Tally.
Oh, nice.
I invited them as well. So,
Heck yeah.
yeah, we'll have our crew back together again to
Hell yeah.
watch the Netflix premiere.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, dude.
What do you got?
The Women's Intercontinental Tournament. I didn't want to say too much earlier when we were talking about the fact check because I knew I was talking about this now. I literally have on here, I said, Women's IC Final equals hell yeah. I love that they kept us on our toes. Mm-hmm. That's what I wrote. Because we both last week were pretty much like, oh yeah, they added EO to it. We're assuming EO's probably the front runner to win this entire thing. Joke's on us, Timmy.
Yes, it is.
We also thought there was a strong chance for it to be one or the other. I leaned the other way. You leaned towards Dakota. You thought that it would be that there was a chance for it to be Dakota Kai versus Io Sky because it's damage control, and that would have been an interesting finals. 100%. I was leaning more towards the PFC versus damage control, Zoe Stark versus Io Sky in the finals. Neither of us thought Lyra Valkyria was going to be in the finals of this just because of kind of the pushes she's had.
Yeah.
But we ended up with Dakota Kai beating Zoe Stark and then Lyra Valkyria in a fucking badass match. Both matches were actually pretty fucking good. Dakota Kai is like, this is going to sound bad, but it is good. But she's like forgettably really good. Yeah, in the ring, you know what I mean? Like she's one that you ease. And this isn't, and I don't think it's necessarily on her. It's just the product of Raw right now. Yeah, you forget that she's really good in the ring, and she was hurt for a while. I was
gonna say she's
so that
hurt
adds to the
often,
forgettable.
And so you don't get to see a lot of her.
But yeah, she's pretty fucking good in the ring.
Yeah, and Zoe Stark is really good too. They're both very athletic.
Yeah,
and that match did surprise me, but I gotta the Valkyria match.
Lyra was so fucking good. That might have been the best match on the card. Which I think is probably the reason that it was right before the face off. Yeah. Right. It was so good. It was awesome. But yeah, we get Dakota Kai winning and we get Lyra Valkyria winning. So in 2 weeks' time, or I guess 1 week and 2 days' time, on January 13th, we will get to see those two square off, which I'm actually really fucking excited about that match now.
I'm excited for it. I'm leaning towards Dakota Kai winning it.
I'm leaning towards Lyra.
I just think just because of how injured she's been, I think this is like a feel-good story, and she wins the title just because I think there's been plenty of times where they've wanted to push her and something unforeseen happened. Yeah. And so that's why I'm leaning that way.
And I totally agree with you on that. Like I'll be happy either way this match goes, but I just feel like at some point you got to stop kicking your talent in the nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how many pushes has Lyra gotten to like, this year. Yeah. And so like this, I feel like this is the one for her. And where on the flip side of that, Dakota's been injured a lot this year. Yeah. So like, I agree. Has she probably been getting pushed before? Things like that. Yeah. And then she gets hurt, but it's also like, and this isn't necessarily to try to take anything away from Dakota, but it's like, have you truly earned this to be the first women's Intercontinental champion ever? Yeah. When you've been on the shelf the majority of 2024. Yeah. Right. So like Lyra has been there fucking pretty much week in, week out.
Ever since WrestleMania.
Fighting to put herself in this position. And she's lost King of the Ring.
Queen of the Ring.
Sorry. Yeah. Queen of the Ring. In the finals, she was in, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Timmy, because I know you have a better memory of this than I do, but I'm pretty sure I remember her. Was she not in the Women's Royal Rumble? And didn't she last a while in the Women's Royal Rumble?
I want to say, yeah.
It's going to have to be a fact check, but I'm pretty sure she was in it, and I'm pretty sure she, like, did pretty goddamn well because she was still in NXT at that time, wasn't she?
And then she beat Becky Lynch for the NXT title.
Yeah.
So and then finals of the
she's
Queen
had
of
a lot of these pushes,
yeah,
but pushes that have ended up outside of the NXT title, right? But since she's been on the main roster, she's actually had quite a few pushes, but then and then pushes and then and then pushes and then so I'm like I'm rooting for her because I want to see her, and she's phenomenal.
I hope it's the main event of Raw, and I hope they show out.
Oh, that would be fucking dope.
I hope they show out.
That would be so sweet to have the women's IC be the main event.
Yeah.
What a fucking good way to push that title too.
Yeah.
Just the fucking history of the IC in and of itself. And this is the first time the women's IC has ever been a thing. But it's still it's the same title, right? It has the same name, it has the same history and everything. It's just now it's the women get the chance to fucking have their own and build their own history.
Think about all the history of women's division. Like there's always like just some workhorses that never got to that top title.
Yeah.
And so now there is a title for them to go for, and I just really like that.
The women's division is super exciting right now.
Hell yeah.
It's super since they introduced the US and the IC, and I know this is why I need to fucking watch NXT because they're gonna bulk up both rosters with the NXT talent. And I need to. I know, Tim. I know.
I'm telling you, like it's like is the men's roster on NXT good? Yes. But
what channel's NXT on? The
CW? Yeah. I'm just saying.
What time?
I think it's 8:00.
Fuck! Why it's gotta be so late? Is it 2 hours?
But if you record it on your Xfinity, like when you fast forward the commercials, it brings you right back. Like it's a quick fast forward. So it's so good. But yes, the women's division in NXT is a big bright spot, and I'm excited for what's coming up.
Oh yeah. What do you got?
CM Punk Seth Rollins promo was straight toasted.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
the perfect way to cap an awesome night of Raw, and it was probably, I'm gonna just say it, probably one of the best verbal exchanges ever.
It was fucking amazing.
It just so many great jabs, but it just showed the passion. And I don't know if it's true, but I read that they winged it. It wasn't like a scripted thing.
Oh, really?
And that they both were just sent out to talk to each other. And
I love that.
they are two of the best on the mic.
Mics. So that's easy to do for sure. Yeah.
Just the way that they jab back and forth was incredible. I'm so excited for their match.
I read a interview with Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Nemeth, is that his name? And he was talking, he was being interviewed, and I don't remember. It might have been what's his name? He's like the main fucking dude that has guys on his podcast, like Chris Van Fleet or something like that. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It might have been that. I can't remember exactly what it was that he was being interviewed on, but he was just being talked about just this last Raw. And he was talking about that, and he was talking about the importance of like the move to Netflix and like how the push for the go home show to the Netflix premiere was a no match, no contact, no fireworks, no pyro, no nothing. It was literally just two dudes out in the ring talking.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying how important that is to understand in the terms of like how much faith the WWE is putting into Seth Rollins and CM Punk in this storyline going to Netflix.
Yeah.
And being what I think we might, I don't know, because there are a couple other big matches on that card right now. Yeah. But I feel like Seth Rollins and CM Punk is going to be the main event.
They confirmed it. Well, I mean, they say the word main event a lot. So
that is true.
It could be a but they did say it was the main event of Raw.
Okay. Because I was like, I could also see the Tribal Combat match potentially being, but it's also like they're SmackDown competitors, so that doesn't make sense for them to main event Raw.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah. So if that is the case and that is the main event, like that's what he was saying, and I was like, that's really cool to see somebody who is formerly with the WWE, who was never given the fucking what they deserved in the WWE, who I hope one day comes back to the WWE now that Triple H is in charge. But that is in a different promotion because he's in TNA right now, but he's being asked about this and can just be like, yeah, dude, like this is so fucking big. And like you have to understand the importance of what that was, because it's on a whole other fucking like whole other level of anything we've really ever seen before.
Yeah.
How often is it literally just two dudes without any form of contact, and the show ends with them literally just fucking face to face stare off? That doesn't happen very often.
And no title in it.
Yeah, there's no title. Yeah, that's a whole other fucking layer. I didn't even think about that. Like, this is literally just a fucking grudge match.
Yeah.
That is the hype thing for the Netflix premiere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could not have been better.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Was.
You want to talk about a fucking promo, dude. That I agree with you. That could very well go down as one of, if not the greatest fucking face-off ever.
Yeah. They both brought it. It was great.
It was amazing.
It was incredible. I foresee myself YouTubing it down the road and going, I got to see it again.
Yeah.
I got to see it again because it was that good.
In 10 years, when you and me are doing this podcast,
yep,
and we're gonna have a question.
We have a question
of the
week.
week about the best fucking face-off ever. It's gonna be us both saying,
"Yep."
Monday, December 30th.
Yep.
2024.
Right before Netflix.
Rollins Punk.
I agree.
100%. It was fucking amazing. I'm jumping to SmackDown.
Okay.
And this is not necessarily a qualm, but it's just something that I want to see, because everything we've seen so far between these two teams has been fucking amazing. But I don't feel like we've really truly gotten what we deserve out of it yet. And I want to see a DIY Motor City Machine Guns match without interference, and that is a clean finish.
Yeah.
And one could argue that when the full heel turn took place, that it was a clean finish. You could argue that.
Yeah, you could.
Because it was a clean 1, 2, 3, but there was the heel turn in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Right? That led to that. It was the low blow with the ref being distracted and all of that.
There was a swerve in the match.
I want to see these two teams just and I love the heel DIY. They're fucking phenomenal. It was great for them. That's exactly what they needed to do. So well done. Motor City Machine Guns in general are just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so I want to see those two have a fucking... I want to see... Have we ever had a tag team Iron Man match?
No. That would be awesome.
That would be fucking phenomenal.
Dude.
That would be so fucking sweet.
Hell yeah.
Like, and those two teams, especially right now with the personal history between Gargano and the Machine Guns.
Dude, that would be awesome.
It would be so fucking sweet. I want to see a full fucking... I want to see an hour of those two teams in the ring with nobody else involved.
Dude, that would be sick.
I will say, bouncing off of my own topic there though, because I was a little disgruntled last week, which is the way everything played out. I'm on board with it now. With Pretty Deadly and Los Garzas and all of it. I like it. I like it. I'm on your side. I agree with you from last week, because I was like, what the fuck? That just seems so random. But now I'm like, no, I like it. They're full blown pushing the whole tag division on SmackDown, and I'm here for it. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. I do want to say it was a really, I mean, we've seen it before, but I like the way you knew it wasn't going to be a straight match.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be the way
they set that up with Pretty Deadly in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you already knew that was going to come.
The way it ended up was pretty cool.
I liked it.
It wasn't a straight up disqualification.
Yeah, it landed in a no contest because they landed on top of like both of those teams, and it wasn't somebody interfering on behalf of. I mean, granted, Pretty Deadly did come out to distract for DIY, but then right when you think that finish was going to happen, was it Alex Shelley kicked out? I think it was Alex Shelley kicked out.
Yeah.
He kicked out. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, they had it. Gargano's in the fucking, like the known heel fucking cover with the one leg. And he's like, yeah. Ciampa's fucking behind him in the corner. And you're like, well, there it is. And then he kicks out and was like, whoa, wait, what the fuck? Like, that was an in-match swerve in and of itself.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that. And because you're like, that's just what we're used to seeing. So, like, I'm here for that. If you're gonna have the interference happen, you're gonna have all this shit happen.
Make it creative like that.
Exactly. Make it creative. And that's exactly what they did. And then you had Los Garza's come out and chase Pretty Deadly off, but then it ended up bleeding back into the ring, and then they fall on top during this double submission that makes it look like the Motor City Machine Guns are gonna fucking get it back, and it's like, yeah, let's go. And then it's like, oh fuck, what's happening? And they fall on top. Like, it was super well done. I totally agree. I loved it.
Yeah, my emotions were like, oh shit, here comes the interference. No, he kicked out. They left, and then when they set up the submissions, like, they're winning.
Yeah.
And then it didn't.
Again, camera angles. It was so well done. Like, the camera is once again from like the corner of the side of the ring with the ramp, right? Yeah. It's kind of from that corner, so you're looking, and then you see them come back into camera view outside of the ring fighting, and they roll into the ring, and then you're like, oh fuck. Yeah. But it was all well done. And again, like what I was saying, like, yeah, I want the match between just those two teams just for the quality of it. Yeah. Like, just for the quality of what they bring and what they're gonna have. Yeah. That is not in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Like, trying to take away from or down talking or whatever the how well they did it this week. Yeah. Yeah. Because they did. I 100% agree with you on that. It just, like, now that, like, we've gotten what we've gotten in the past, now we got this. Now I just want to see a fucking match between those two. Yeah. You know, I want to see a match between those two. If not, like we talked last week, I think it was last week, a TLC match. Yeah. Between those two and then the Street Profits.
That'd be sick. One more thing awesome on that match is just how important the announcers are to storylines. Is they are pushing these guys as heels and really pushing Johnny Gargano as this just big leech. You don't have that without announcers.
Oh, 100%. How often do you have both commentators on the same side?
Exactly.
It doesn't happen that it has happened. Yeah, of course, but it doesn't happen that often. Yes, and and this is, I think, the importance of all of that is this storyline is what they're doing it in is not the storyline you would expect them to do it in. Exactly. You would expect it to be in the bloodline. Mm-hmm. You know, you would expect it to be like they're both like afraid of the new bloodline, so like they're both against it and want it to be over type thing. But that's not the situation. When you get to the new bloodline stuff later in the night, you have fucking Corey Graves just fucking just wetting the bed over the new bloodline because he doesn't want to get murdered, and Michael Cole is very, very strictly like, no, I am for the original bloodline. Yeah, you know, but yeah, so I think it's a really important piece of the storytelling, like you said, is that both the announcers both on the same page with talking about how fucking just much of a goddamn mooch and user and everything that Gargano is. Yeah. So
it's going to suck because we know Cole is going to Raw, though. So is it going to be that same? It could.
Did they confirm that?
Well, they say it's going to be Pat McAfee and Cole, right? I haven't seen anything confirmed.
I don't know.
I guess
I don't know. I think we may have just been assuming that was going to be the case, but why not have it be Tessitore and Michael? Oh, I guess because you need a color commentator. But why not then have it just be Michael Cole stays on Raw, Wade Barrett, Michael Cole, Tessitore, Corey Graves on SmackDown, and then when the move happens, then you move Tessitore over with Pat McAfee back to Raw, and then you have Wade Barrett, Corey Graves. Well, I guess they're both technically color comment. Does Corey Graves count as a color commentator?
He does.
Really?
He was a wrestler.
Does he really? Like, really? NXT. Really, though? But, like, really?
It'll be interesting, but regardless,
I'm pretty sure Michael Cole's had more fucking wrestling matches than Corey Graves has.
False.
Pat McAfee, maybe.
I'm not even going to fact check that because it's false.
Well, I guess Pat McAfee looked at as a color commentator?
Yeah, because he's had a lot of matches in NXT.
Well, he's had a lot of matches on the fucking main shows too.
That's true.
But so has Michael Cole.
That's true.
Michael Cole's wrestled plenty.
That's true too.
In his fucking singlet and his headgear.
The orange singlet.
Looking like a fucking dork. Anyways, we don't know who the commentators for what shows are going to be yet, but I do hope it's Michael Cole and Pat McAfee because they're just too fucking good together to not have that be on Netflix. Yeah.
I got SmackDown moving to 3 hours is going to be huge. I think just seeing this episode.
Yeah, the storytelling ability is huge.
It just, maybe just because it was a go-home show to Netflix debut, but it was a way different show going to 3 hours. It's giving time to the tag team division. It let that tag team match went on for a good amount of time. It let the women's championship match go for a long time, the main event. So, and still telling different stories in between. I'm here for the 3 hour change, and sucks for our livelihood of just we don't have enough time in the day.
Now I have to sit there and watch 3 hours in the morning.
Yeah,
on Saturdays.
It's
which this very well puts us not able to do morning recording sessions anymore.
If you can figure out your fast forwarding thing, then
yeah. Well, I'm also hoping, and I don't think it's going to actually happen, but there's still a part of me that's holding out hope that they're going to put SmackDown on Netflix.
Maybe.
Like, why not? Why would you not in that situation? Like, once it airs live, you might as well just fucking add it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? It doesn't. No reason not to. All right, I got to say it before you do. It's Tiffy-Time, baby. It's motherfucking Tiffy-Time. And this goes back to what we were talking about last week with the fucking slow playing, and like we've been so fucking annoyed, and it's just like, fucking goddamn, it's about time. Listening. They were, because the way they did this cash in was unique. The way they did this cash in was it was fucking perfect. Honestly, it was done so well.
Yeah.
She comes out. They can't find her all fucking day. They don't know where she's at. And all of a sudden her music hits. She comes out and you're like, oh fuck, she's going to cash in. And then she fucking says, I'm going to cash in. And then she fucking throws the ref over the barricade, grabs the briefcase, hits Naomi with it, and lets Nia pick up the win. And I was literally like, I was about to lose my fucking shit, dude. I was so fucking irritated. I was steaming because I was like, this is what we fucking just talked about. The same goddamn bullshit. Fuck. And then they're sitting there and then she's like, hey, go get Bianca. And she does. And I was like, oh my God, she's fucking doing it. She fucking attacks Nia Jax. She fucks up Candice LeRae. She lets Bianca hit the fucking
KOD.
Yeah, thank you, KOD. And then I was like, oh shit. She fucking grabs Bianca's ass out of the ring and throws her ass over the fucking, which I don't know that Bianca would have stopped her from cashing in. But I don't see any reason why she would have. But she fucking made sure there was no chance of it. And then she gets up and hits one of the prettiest moonsaults.
It almost wasn't. It, like, you could see like
the way her feet were on the top rope. Yeah, I know. I was like, she's so hyped up, and that was what I was thinking before she even did the jump. I was like, because they took a second.
Yeah,
like she got in the ring and she's standing there, and she's like, "Come on,
and
fucking
Lily
ring
Garcia's
the bell!"
Taking her time.
I know, and I was like, they're taking so long. I was like, oh, this could go wrong. I was like, something bad could happen, but she still fucking hit it. She nails it. Gets the 1, 2, 3. Like, it was weird. Because there was a part of me that, like, for the smallest split second, I got choked up for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. It just happened. We just watched it, and we just watched it happen. And I was like, wait, why the fuck am I getting choked up about this? I was like, wait, this is what should have happened multiple times already, but they finally
it was
fucking
an awesome moment.
It was
what it was.
Fucking sweet. I've been rooting for Tiffany Stratton this whole goddamn time since she's been on the main roster. You've been rooting for even longer than that because you watch NXT because you're better than I am. You also have less going on, but I will point that out. God damn it. Granted, the more I have going on is my fault. I had the kid, but it does make it harder for me to watch things. But
true,
I've been rooting for Tiffy-Time this whole fucking time, and I'm so stoked now. Yeah. And what a fucking banger of a way to start the fucking SmackDown season 27, I think it is. Fucking yeah, dude, let's fucking go.
Yeah, to build off that, I would just want to give flowers. Naomi and Nia Jax did a great job. That match was solid. They let them do their thing. It started off a little slow, but then really picked up some steam.
The match was actually pretty fucking good, especially with how much shit we talked last week about that. And why is this the situation? Now I understand why this is the situation.
I loved it.
Because there's not many other people on SmackDown right now that can take the L that Naomi can.
Yeah.
Because it's believable for her to take that L.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't hurt her too much to take that L.
Yeah.
She's still a tag team champ. I still think she's a dirty, rotten scoundrel. And I think she fucked up Jade Cargill. But that's for a future conversation. But no, I think the match itself was it was really good. The Nia's improvement week in and week out. Granted, we have seen some of this, but I think some of this, I think Nia is only as good as her opponent is. Mm-hmm. Yes. I think that's a fair statement where like Rhea, doesn't matter who her opponent is, her match is going to be good.
But it's like Liv doing the Oblivion or whatever that's called.
To Rhea.
Yeah, there's
true,
chemistry.
Right.
And Nia has some chemistry
but
with some.
Even Liv. Like, Liv's going to have a fucking banger of a match most of the time, regardless of who she's against. Io, same idea for the most part. Becky, same idea. Charlotte. Like Bianca, like it's all this Tiffany, right? Yeah. Even now, like she's gonna have a fucking great match regardless of who she's in the ring with. Nia is not that. Mm-hmm. She's only gonna be as good as her opponent is in the ring because there's only so much Nia Jax can do.
Yeah.
But we have now seen her take 2 dope fucking reversals off of the top rope in the last month.
Yeah.
And that fucking like power slam reversal into a fucking flipping power slam cross body, whatever the fuck you want to call it, was fucking legit. And to see someone her size doing that is impressive, and that's cool. And so, I thought Naomi was a lot more believable in this match. It didn't look like neither of them looked necessarily like they were moving like molasses outside of the beginning of the match, like you alluded to. It was a little slow, but they really found their groove. And they really picked it up. And I agree that I was thinking that I almost put that down as one of my things, but my next thing I couldn't get past. So
I just want to say, I think what part of it was Naomi wasn't doing some of her cheesier moves, like the gimmick moves, like stomping on Nia's back and stuff.
Or the bouncing her fucking gigantic ass cheeks around. In her face.
And then
at least the stink face had a good setup.
Yeah.
And it was a gigantic Samoan man.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, it made sense.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
But then
don't threaten me with a good time.
Getting back to the cash-in part, I was laughing because it was teasing the slow cash-in again. Yeah. And I was like, I could picture you fuming at your place. I was like,
100%.
Oh my God, they're doing it again. And then what transpired, that the reaction from the crowd was huge. It was
a pop, if you will.
It was a fantastic pop. It was a big moment, and loved it. Loved it, every moment of it. All right, that brings me to Bloodline drama. I got some qualms. But first, I'm going to say...
I am willing to bet that one of your qualms is the same as my last talking point here. Well, might not be the same wordage, but it's maybe. Probably in the same vein.
So first, great promo with Paul Heyman, Solo and Paul Heyman.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great segment. I still think Paul Heyman is going to betray Roman.
Ooh,
I still think that's happening. We've talked about that. My qualm with this is Roman is nowhere to be seen at all, other than one video promo, and.
Look, right there.
Yep. I think it's disrespectful to Solo. Like, we're trying to build this big bad tribal chief. You got a big match on Raw, Netflix debut, and all you do is do a video promo for the match.
We haven't seen him live in almost a month.
Why? Why is he still like?
Yeah,
he needs to be on the show.
Yeah, he does. What I just showed you on my phone was my note was I'm back to hating Roman, and the reason for that is because it's the same fucking bullshit that was happening when he was champion. It's the exact same thing.
But he's not that attraction anymore. He's not the big champion.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't got a...
That's almost worse when he was.
I accepted it for that, but now...
But even still,
no.
it's and you said it's disrespectful to Solo to a point, like, yes, I agree, but also at the same time, fuck Solo. It's disrespectful to us. It's disrespectful to the fans. It's disrespectful to the WWE universe that you have, who's supposed to be still fucking pushed as the face of your franchise or one of the faces of your franchise, and he can't fucking be live on more than one show every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It makes no fucking sense. It makes absolutely zero sense. I hope Solo fucking wins this match on Monday.
I
hope this eventually leads to Roman just being gone and never returning, because that's essentially where we're at anyways. He barely has a presence. The storylines that are building around him don't feel like they have any sort of actual fucking gusto or anything good about them, because he's never fucking here. Like, you have fucking Sammy and Jimmy and Jay all fucking pushing this narrative, carrying all of this on their backs because Roman has a fucking contract where he only has to work one day every fucking 45 days. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
But I have that down. Like, yes, you can... The OG bloodline having Jimmy, Jay, Sammy fighting your battles up into War Games made sense. Now
Not really.
But in a way it
didn't, though, because he was essentially having to beg people to join forces with him.
But
so them fighting his battles still didn't make sense.
But now, after the War Games, you've beaten them, and now it's supposed to be one-on-one. It's not supposed to involve anyone else.
And that's all we've gotten.
But Roman is not anywhere, and all we've gotten is Jimmy J, Sammy fighting the bloodline.
I absolutely love, speaking of announcers, I loved during that 6-man tag match, Corey Graves, again, he's on the new bloodline side of things, and he's talking up Solo, but he made a really good point, and one of the comments that he made was that, like, what kind of tribal chief was Roman Reigns? He used all of his people. He used his entire tribe as his Minutemen and his lackeys and his guys that would go do his dirty work for him. Solo's in the trenches with his bloodline fighting.
Yeah.
You didn't see that very often with Roman, and it makes a lot of sense. And it's like, I get part of it, like part of what we're talking about is storyline, and part of what we're talking about is actually real and fucking annoying. And that's the part that's like, it is hard to blend those, but that's wrestling. But it's like, dude, there's zero reason for Roman to not fucking be there.
Yeah.
There's zero reason. There's not a single thing anyone could fucking tell me that is high up creative in WWE. Paul Levesque could be sitting here right now telling me the reasoning, and I'm going to say, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because it makes no fucking sense to not have Roman live on these shows.
Yeah. At least the go home show. I agree.
Yes.
But
yes.
One appearance.
At the very least, yes. The go home show he should have fucking been there for. But he needs to be there weekly.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him not to. He's not at the point in his fucking career where Cena is.
Yeah.
Where he can show up right, like, at every now and then type of thing. Like, that's not where you're at. And if you are there, then fucking just retire. Don't push that. Like, there needs to be a change.
Yeah.
Something actually needs to happen, because it's super fucking frustrating. It's so annoying that he has not been there. When was the last time we saw Roman live? It was like was it the SmackDown after War Games?
I think it was, yeah.
And that was
back
in November,
the beginning of December, because we saw Raw on December 2nd.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah. So at the end of it was So it was December fucking 6th. Yeah.
And that's the last time. And
so
again,
so it will have been exactly a month.
Yeah.
Since the last time we saw Roman on live TV, not in a vignette. Not in a pre-recorded video from his yacht. A fucking actual him in the flesh live on TV.
Yep.
And it won't even be on the fucking show that he's supposed to be on.
Yep.
It's going to be on Raw.
Yeah. So. This is probably one of the least excited like, yes, I want to see where it goes, but there's not a lot of build to it other than what Jimmy has done. Jimmy J.
Here's the thing. Roman wins this match on Monday. What's he the tribal chief of?
Yeah.
This invisible make-believe tribe that you have at your house that no one else sees because you don't fucking show up? Right? Like,
Yep.
what are you the tribal chief of?
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like there's very little to actually care about in this outside of the outside narratives. The
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
Like, is Paul Heyman going to turn? Like, all of these things. Like, Roman hasn't fucking been there. So what is the tribal chief? Like, what is he fighting for?
Yeah. And I've given up on the Rock storyline just because I've seen so many other things, and he hasn't popped up when I thought he would. So I'm just banking on Paul Heyman right now betraying Roman, and that's pretty much it. That brings us to Banger of the Week.
I'm done venting.
What do you got?
I'm going to be honest with you. I have 3 things written down because I don't know exactly how to fucking pick one.
I have 3 things written down.
Want to go 1 for 1?
Yeah, let's go it. Let's do it.
I'm going to do... Oh, fuck, this is hard. I was going to say I'm going to do my least of the 3. I don't know which one's my most.
No least. Just go in any order.
It. Okay, I'm going Lyra Valkyrie versus Io Sky. Is that one of yours?
I said I can't go one this week.
Yeah.
I could not do one, and I put Io versus Lyra.
Yeah.
That match
It
fucking
was
cooked.
So it was the best match of the week.
Yeah.
Of the 2 main shows.
Yeah.
Again, don't watch NXT. I'm sure there's something fucking amazing on there.
I put this because I agree with you. I do think
it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Next.
All right. Tiffy-Time.
Yep. Tiffy-Time.
Well, then I know we're going to have all 3 are the same.
Seth and
Punk and Seth. Yeah.
Literally. We did not talk before
We
this.
did not plan that at all. That is fucking awesome. I absolutely...
You can see my notes. Right?
Oh, I just deleted mine, but they were there. I promise. I'm the one that said them. So yeah, you know, I had it. You know, I had them.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That's so great. Funny.
Oh my god,
we are on the same wavelengths.
We are. But it's hard. With this week in wrestling, like we talked about with those 2 shows being what they were, it's hard to just be like, yeah, one thing sticks out. No, dude, like the fucking promo was, like we said, arguably, it could potentially legit go down as the greatest promo in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
I think it will 100% go down as the greatest face-off.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tiffany Stratton with the cash in, everything we just talked about, and then fucking the Lyra Io was just a great match.
Yeah.
It was easily the banger of the week when it comes to matches.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. So,
yeah.
All right.
Brings us to our belts question of the week. Ryan, you posed this one.
I put on here, I said with Raw going to Netflix, and this was before I read something when I put this on here. So I do have an update in the middle of this, but I said with Raw going to Netflix, I'm curious to see if we might get a new Raw theme song or intro. Update. I did read that Travis Scott will be offering new music as the new Raw theme song on Netflix. That was what?
I'm not a fan.
Do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
Okay,
but
I same. I agree with you. When I first read that, I was like, "Fuck." Yeah. And this is gonna bring us to the thing, which we very well may have very similar answers to this question. But I read that Triple H came out during one of Travis Scott's concerts, and that was kind of like when that was announced. I couldn't find what the song is, so I'm wondering if if it is actually like brand new music that he's dropping specifically for the Raw Netflix debut, maybe, because I couldn't find what the actual song was. But anyways, it says, with that thought process, I want to know what our rank order is for the top 3, what we think for ourselves is the best Raw themed songs over the years. So we'll start with our lowest ranked, and we'll just move up from there.
All right. I'm going to go Thorn in Your Eye, the Attitude Era.
Okay. All right.
Raw's War theme song.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that one. That's good. My number 3, I went Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson.
Was that Raw?
Yeah. It was for, I want to say it was
SmackDown's theme song.
Everything I looked up was Raw.
Yeah. I got to say, I don't remember it being there, but I definitely remember it being SmackDown. But
a few moments later.
Anyways, had to pee. We're back. I will let you know right now, Tim, that I'm pretty sure I could power a like full cruise ship with the pure unagi that I have in my urine stream. Just it's like a fucking pressure washer. Anyhoozle. So, number 2, what do you got?
I got To Be Loved, Papa Roach.
Also, my number 2, To
Yeah.
Be Loved by Papa Roach. It was fucking awesome. Whoa, never give in. Whoa, never give up.
Whoa,
I love it.
I just wanna be
loved. It's beautiful. Love
No,
it.
I-
Absolutely.
Absolutely loved it. My number 1 is Across the Nation,
Yeah.
Union Underground.
Obviously. Same.
Move to the music, play that fucking music.
Moving to the music. Yeah. Let's get it on. I love it.
The theme of that is they're all rock songs. They get me hopped up for the.
I know.
And I just over these rap, like they're not.
It's not like it's bad music.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the same feel as those times and those eras. And I was really hoping that we were gonna get like a more fucking like upbeat fucking.
Yeah.
And another thing, because I also wrote I saw this theme song, but also wrote intro. Just to hit on that for a second, I almost want to get a little bit more away from the. What are the words that they use on the goddamn like the past, present, future fucking thing? And get into more of like the fucking dope video packages to hype up Raw.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I think back to the listen up, turn it up, and ride out. I want to hear you scream and shout.
That's true.
With the video package, I know I didn't say like any of the right words to the song. I don't know the words to the song,
Yeah.
but you get
No,
the
I get
idea.
what
But then you had like the video package where it's just showing fucking highlights over the years during that era of wrestling. It was fucking, it just got you fucking stacked.
Kind of like the video I just sent you today.
You know?
of
Yeah,
the-
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
exactly, dude. Like putting the fucking Attitude Era to current was fucking dope.
Yeah.
But it's like I just want that same feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And-
No, I agree. I like.
Oh, it's the then, now, forever. That's what it is.
Yeah. But even old WWE used to have that. It was just something different, but they went into that video package of an actual intro versus just
and I like don't get me wrong, I like the then, now, forever.
yeah.
Is it then, now, forever together? Is that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that what it is? Like I don't mind that, but then it's like go from that and then go into a fucking video package with the actual intro
Yeah.
to each of the shows.
Yeah.
Because like right now we have Megan Thee Stallion is the theme song for SmackDown,
Yeah.
and now Travis Scott's going to be the theme song for Raw.
Yeah.
Cool. Like I'm like I get it, and I'm fine with it. It's representation across the board. You're branching out. We eventually got to get back to some fucking badass music, like badass pump up rock shit.
Yeah.
And
I
was
like the
hoping this was going to be the move, but
I
not
like
getting it.
the previous Raw theme, the greatness feels like greatness. Like
Yeah.
it had a little pump up to it, but
Yeah.
like I'm not pumped up with Megan Thee Stallion's song. I don't. It's just it's a good song.
It's just there.
It's just there.
Yeah, it's just on. But like
It's good
across
for
the
in
nation,
between.
To Be Loved.
Yeah.
Those were like,
Just like,
I'm fucking getting hyped for the opening of this fucking show right now. Let's fucking go. Whoa. You know, I love it. Let's fucking go.
let's go. That brings us to
Blockbusters. Timmy.
got a handful of things today.
Yeah, we got a few things. I put this one on here. It is a new show coming out. I just now at this exact moment realized I didn't put what network it's gonna be on. I want to say it's like ABC.
I want to say ABC.
I feel like Tim Allen usually has a pretty good working relationship with ABC. But anyways, shifting gears. It's a new Tim Allen sitcom. The trailer just dropped within this last week or so. The synopsis for the show is headstrong widower Matt owns a classic car workshop when his separated daughter and her teenage children arrive at his house. The real restoration begins. the cast of the shows, Tim Allen, as we previously mentioned, Kat Dennings, and Sean William Scott is in this, which I didn't know that I knew of this show before I saw the trailer. Didn't know he was in it until I saw the trailer, and I was like, fuck yes. I love him. I love everything pretty much that he's in. And yeah, so I'm super excited for this. I love Tim Allen's sitcoms over the years. Like, I'm going to be honest. I love most fucking everything Tim Allen's ever been in. Yeah. And there's not very many things like that I don't like that I can think of that he's been in. Home Improvement, obviously, phenomenal. And then Last Man Standing, I fucking love that show. Like, I like Last Man Standing more than Home Improvement, and I fucking love Home Improvement. So, I know you love Home Improvement because your boy, JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, up in that bitch. Did you also, fun fact for you about Home Improvement, did you know that all three of the kids, all of the actors that played those three kids, all had three names? Like, it was Jonathan Taylor Thomas. They all went by all three.
I did not know that.
Because the oldest son, who is not doing too hot right now, he just got arrested for again. Uh-oh. He's been arrested a lot. He doesn't look very good. But it's Zachary Ty Bryan. And I cannot remember the younger kid's name, but that might have to be a fact check. I'm pretty sure he went by all three, too.
Yeah.
Anyhoozle. This is a new sitcom. It releases this coming Wednesday, January 8th. And I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah, man.
The trailer for it looked solid.
I thinking of all the shows that we'll get to later on. I've been looking for a new sitcom. I do like sitcoms, and there just hasn't been one recently that I can think of that has really grabbed my attention. And I saw the trailer right actually as like I watched it and then looked at the agenda and I was like, oh, nice. It is right there. Really excited for this.
So you saw it and then looked at the agenda and I had added it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's funny because you did the exact same thing with the next one we're going to talk about.
So I'm super excited for this. Like you said, I love Tim Allen. Kat Dennings, love her as well. And Sean William Scott is just a bonus. I think I have high hopes for it.
Me too. I have high hopes as well.
I'm
looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, man. Flight Risk. This is what I put on here, and
this is what I was talking about because I was like, I saw the trailer for this, and it was like I saw the trailer for this and another one on here, but it was in a situation where like I didn't have the moment to actually like go add them. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm going to come back to them. I'm going to add them later. And then when I opened up the agenda, you had added this, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. Flight Risk is the synopsis for this is a pilot transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial as they cross the Alaskan wilderness. Tensions soar and trust is tested as not everyone on board is who they seem. Director is Mel Gibson, and
fantastic.
I'm excited about his directing this movie. He did Apocalypto, which was phenomenal.
Hacksaw Ridge, which was fucking amazing.
Yeah, along with others.
Yes.
This cast has Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace, and the release for this is January 24th to 2025. This actually. It was supposed to come out in October from what I previously saw, but then this new trailer came out and then put a new release date on it. So
gotcha. Okay.
Super excited for this one. You get to see a half-bald Mark Wahlberg.
I know. I was like, what the fuck? When I first what led me to first seeing this was I saw a picture of him with that, and I was like, there's no fucking way this is like, is this real? Like it looked like a fucking like spoof or like a fake bullshit. Right? Yeah. Like I was like, what? And then I watched the trailer. I was like, no fucking shit. This is actually happening. He's got a goddamn, what do you fucking call it? The Friar Tuck?
Yeah, the Friar Tuck. You got the cul-de-sac up there.
Yeah, but it's like a cul-de-sac. It's like a mullet sack.
But Topher Grace in the movie too. Yeah. Like it's been a while. The last time I saw him in something was your double movie you recommended. So excited for this. I like the base of the movie. It seems like it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's. I mean, obviously, what you see in the trailer might not cover the entirety of it, but it's from the synopsis and what we saw in the trailer, it looks like the majority of this movie is going to take place on this plane where there's literally 3 people.
Yeah, above Alaskan
wilderness.
trench.
Yeah. So it's like it's
creepy,
It's going to
too.
be very interesting,
Intense.
just to,
Yeah.
intense, and just to see how like that all plays out. All right, I added this. I'd never heard of this until I saw the trailer for it. This was the other one that I said, like, I saw Flight Risk and this both at the same time, and I was like, okay, I got to come back to these. It took me a few passovers of seeing this to then click on it, and I will preface this with, I have never been a huge fan of Kristen Stewart. She's not been my favorite. However, most of my opinion on that had like formed from Twilight.
Yeah. She's definitely, I've seen her in a few
I know
things.
she has. I saw her in. Was it Underwater?
Yeah,
Was
that movie
was that
was
with
really
Jake
good.
Gyllenhaal and no? Yeah,
Not, I don't think Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, but Underwater, she was in that movie.
was that the one where like the weird alien thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that
no.
not Ryan Reynolds and Jake
No,
Gyllenhaal were
that's
both in it?
Life. That's called Life.
Oh, that's called Life.
Yeah.
That's a different movie.
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting two different movies confused.
Okay. Yeah.
But I saw the one that I'm thinking of with her in it though too.
Yeah.
I was just confusing those two. Regardless, and that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. She was much better in that. So that's kind of what led me actually to being like, all right, I'm going to click on it, because I also really like Stephen Yeun
Yeah.
from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Right. And so I had no idea what this was going to be about. I didn't read the synopsis before. I just started watching the trailer and I was like, whoa, this is a fucking crazy concept. This is pretty wild. So the synopsis for this movie, the movie's called Love Me. The synopsis is, long after humanity's extinction, a buoy, literally a fucking robotic buoy, which is played by Kristen Stewart, and a satellite, which is played by Stephen Yeun, inherit the Earth, and with only the internet as their guide, learn what it means to be alive and in love. In this groundbreaking first feature from Sam and Andy Zucchero, Love Me explores AI and identity through live action, animatronics, and classic animation in an epic tale of connection and transformation. And this movie comes out January 31st in theaters.
Yeah.
The trailer for this is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's wild in the sense of it's kind of a mind fuck, right? Because you're like watching this and it's literally a fucking buoy and a satellite
talking to each
something
other.
fucking floating in water, and then a satellite up in space. And they end up through the internet essentially creating these two characters that can interact with each other based off what seems to be two actual people from history.
Yeah.
Well, like his in the movie, right? Like history in the movie, not actual history, but like two people, and it looks like they're played by these, like they're assuming the lives almost, or the buoy and the satellite are assuming the characters of these two people that they saw on these like social media pages.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a super interesting concept,
Yeah.
and like not necessarily something. It's completely different than anything we've really ever covered on the show. So
For sure.
yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. No, watching the trailer, I don't think I've ever been just so mesmerized and confused, but like just watching it, I was just like could not look away. And I'm like super excited for this just because it is totally something different. It was kind of hard to follow. Just, are these actually people?
I
And
know,
then-
that was the thing. I was
and
like,
then-
whoa.
But yeah, love the idea.
But then you read the synopsis and you're like,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, fuck, dude.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
So really
Yeah.
excited for this one. I think it's going to be a good one and just a cool little twist. And I like it.
Yeah. All right. I also added this one. This is called Fight or Flight. Which
Two flight movies.
I know, exactly. Oddly enough, we have two different movies on here that take place in the air. The synopsis for this is: a mercenary takes on the job of tracking down a target on a plane, but must protect her when they're surrounded by people trying to kill both of them. The cast of the movie, I really only know Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett is the main character. He is the mercenary. And then Kate Sackhoff. Do you know?
Is she the blonde lady?
She's the blonde.
Yeah, I know. I've seen her.
I know
in things,
I think
but
I want to
don't know.
say one of the two. I think it was Kate Sackhoff was in Downton Abbey.
Maybe
One of the two, because then the other name on here is Charithra Chandran.
I think you nailed it.
I hope so. But yeah, one of the two is in Downton Abbey. But regardless, it's directed by James Madigan, and it will release in February of this year. The trailer fucking looked awesome. It's an action comedy. I should have put that on here too to preface it with that. It is an action comedy. Josh Hartnett's character looks fucking absolutely ridiculous. He has like bleached blonde hair, but the same haircut he actually has in real life. But it's bleached blonde with not matching facial hair. Like his facial hair is just his normal color. But yeah, I don't know. I looked good to me. I'm here for pretty much anything Josh Hartnett's in now with his kind of revival of his career. Yeah, exactly. And so
Josh Hartnett comeback.
I'm stoked for this. Anything else he does in the future.
Yeah, the trailer looks great. It kind of reminds me of Bullet Train a little bit. From that, where it's taking place on this mode of vehicle, mode of transportation, and it looks crazy, kind of along the lines of Novocaine.
You know what it reminds me of? Huh. Reminds me of the movie Flight.
Or Fight. Weird. No, but it looks great. The comedy looks great, and it's just a bunch of people trying to kill Josh Hartnett and whoever he's. Yeah,
I like the part in the trailer where she's like, "I need you to get to the airport." And he's like, "You put me on a no-fly route on a no-fly list." It was just simple, but it made me laugh. I'm excited.
I'm excited for it. It looks really good. Chaos for sure.
Yes.
Blockbuzzin. I picked this movie for this one, and we've talked about it previously,
and I 100% agreed with it. As soon as you texted me, I was like, yes, because I need to watch it, and this is gonna make me.
So Blockbuzzin, again, the premise of this is picking a movie that generated quite the buzz, and this movie for sure did that. So Joker, Folie à Deux.
Also, I appreciate you finishing filling out the slide. I honestly got to it, and I just put the name, and I was like, I don't remember what the fuck all we go over on this. So I was like, we're just gonna wing it. But then you filled it out, so I appreciate that.
So why is this movie buzzing? It's a follow-up to the controversial The Joker in 2019. Joker was the first R-rated movie to break $1 billion at the box office. It stirred up a lot of emotions with mental health, and many thought it was glorifying the wrong things. This leads to the sequel 5 years later, and the movie was met with critics and fans panning the movie tremendously, and it was definitely a new take on the movie for sure. Yeah. But it definitely was a very high to a very low situation here with the two movies. So, yeah, Ryan, what were your thoughts on this movie? And
I actually really enjoyed it, honestly. And I think I liked it because it was fresh. Mm-hmm. It was new. They literally turned it into a musical. Mm-hmm. But it was like a fucking super dark, gritty, maniacal, fucked up musical, which is not something you're used to seeing. And so I really enjoyed it for that. I think the whole glorifying the wrong thing, fuck off. That's what the point of this is. Yeah. The whole idea, he's fucking in any iteration of the Joker, he's a fucked up person. He's a fucked up individual. Same with Harley Quinn. So it's just I don't know. I don't lean into all that shit. But I just take it for what it is. I watched the movie for what it is, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. We don't need to get into it because I don't want no spoilers, but the ending legit shocked me. Oh, yeah. I was like, whoa, fuck. Okay. Pretty definitive. I'll say that. But yeah. So I thought it was good. I really enjoyed it. I am happy that we watched this for Blockbuzzin. I think that it garnered that, and I think it still deserves that. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. I appreciated the inclusion of other Batman lore characters that were in it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was solid.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, and I was gonna be worried if I was the only one that really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. I don't understand what the hate was on this. Yes, it was different, but I appreciated it for that.
Yeah.
I knew from the second they mentioned it was gonna. I was like, okay, it's not gonna be in the same thing, but it was almost a direct, like, it happened exactly right as the movie ends previously, almost essentially.
Essentially, pretty much.
And it just, I didn't see very much difference in the tone of the movie from the first one, other than the music. But I thought I liked it.
But the music pieces to it were all in his head.
Yes,
that's the thing. Is like it just continues to add to the mental health. Aspects of everything. And I don't know. I thought it was super well done. I thought that it was just, I love the fact that Todd Phillips, I believe, is the director of this. I love that he leaned into it and he didn't shy away from all of the controversy that surrounded the first film. And then they got greenlit to make a second. And this movie for me felt like he was pretty much like, fuck you guys, I'm going to do what I want to do. And he made the film he wanted to make. And I love that. I absolutely love that, because there are a lot of situations and a lot of things nowadays in current cinema and just the political and societal landscapes that we live in now that keep people from doing that, like truly, and it keeps us from getting the content that we deserve to get. And this movie is, I think, exactly what we deserved. And it leaned even further into the fucking mental health side of everything. Like he is in the middle of what he's in, and he's having this happen. And then you have the Harley Quinn character side of it, who fucking checked herself into this fucking thing. And like that whole fucking storyline that we got, but like didn't dive super deep into, but like we got enough to understand that like she's fucking crazy too. And you just get all of this. And I don't know, I fucking loved it. I thought it was phenomenal.
I thought the cinematography was great.
It was so good.
It was beautiful. It was just
it was beautifully dark.
Yes.
Right? Like it was beautifully dark.
And
it was so well done.
And I like what he said after, or as the first one was coming out, was like, if I can't do comedy because of political, whatever's going on, I can't do what movies can we do? What is going to get people, to watch these movies? And,
and it's so true.
But I agree with you.
No matter what you make nowadays, somebody's going to be offended. So fuck them. Like seriously. And that's kind of the attitude that we need to get back to, is if you are hurt by something like this, you are such a weak individual.
And you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't have to watch it. And then if you choose to watch it and then you get offended by it, that's still on you. Right? Like that is on you. Nobody's forcing you to watch anything. And if you can't go into something and disconnect, like that's the point of all of this. That is the point of movie and TV and all of it. And music and everything it's to be able to fucking disconnect from what's actually going on. If you can't do that, then like you, honestly, in my opinion, you don't deserve to have an opinion on it. If you can't disconnect from it. So
my last thing is on this, and I think this movie perfectly sums up the way I feel is, I feel like they need to stop letting critics put out reviews before the movie's out. I agree. I think it sets the tone 100%. For the movie, and people buy into that so quickly. And it ruins it.
It's literally no different than the comment section on a social media post.
Yes.
It's no different. It's the exact same thing. Now you just have people that are trained professionals, but it's like, I disagree with 95% of Rotten Tomato scores. You know what I mean?
I respect their view on
outside of Blockbusted. Those things are fucking pretty spot on, but those ones are pretty good. I'll agree 100%. But no, like it is, and 100% I agree with that. It's like, let the fucking movie come out and let the fans, let the movie itself have a chance to bring in the attention that it could without, unfortunately, because people do, like you just said, like people buy into critic reviews for whatever fucking reason. People buy into critic reviews and then they don't go see it.
Yeah.
And it might very well be their favorite fucking movie.
Yeah.
You know, like how many times I've seen terrible reviews for something, I've gone and seen it, and I'm like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like I watched this, and I'll be the first person to tell you, excuse me, I didn't go see this in theaters. Probably pretty fucking close because of that reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I was nervous watching this just because of what I saw online. I didn't not want to see it, but also was nervous. I was like, I hope it is a good movie, you know? So,
yeah.
So that's Blockbuzzin for you. I highly recommend it. Yes. I definitely recommend watching the first one and then this one closely after. I think that was another thing that maybe skewed people's review of it. Is just 5 years ago this movie came out. Did they watch the first one?
It's a ways between, yeah.
You know,
sure.
so anywho's, I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. Go see it.
Yeah. Before we jump into this, if you just saw me fist pump randomly, it was because my wife just texted me that our daughter went to sleep no problem.
Woo!
That is a win.
Mark the calendar.
She went down no problem because I am going out to celebrate my dad's birthday right after this. So I am not going home tonight until later. And so I was a little nervous about that. So yeah, that was awesome. That made me happy.
That brings us to Blockbusters question of the week. And you also posed this one.
I did. I decided to strap on my little backpack and start to help carry this bad bitch because I feel like you've come up with the questions of the week for the last couple episodes. So, we just last week talked about like the wrap up of 2024, right? And so I was like, you know what? Like this is the first episode of 2025. I want to kind of lean into that and talk a little bit of New Year shit. Right?
Yeah.
So that being said, what 2025 releases for both movies and TV are you most looking forward to? Okay. So I will preface this with I have one show, but I do have 3 movies that I couldn't fucking pick between for my favorite.
I put like a list. I
okay. Yeah, that works.
I read it as a list.
That's fine too. Yeah, dude, just let go through it. That's totally fine.
All right. So
then we won't even bounce back and forth. Why don't you just want to do shows first?
Yeah, we'll
do shows first. You do your shows and I'll do mine.
Yeah. All right. So Daredevil Born Again.
Yep.
Super pumped for that. Last of Us Season 2 is coming out this year. Wednesday Season 2.
Yep.
Alien Earth. We talked about that. American Primeval.
Yep.
I was really intrigued by that.
Yep. Same.
And then this one might not get your attention, but 911 Lone Star. I'm a big fan of the 911 shows.
Gotcha.
Okay. And this is the final season of 911 Lone Star with...
Yeah. And that has oh, fuck me. What is his name? God damn it. It's from Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Oh,
and he's in Tommy Boy.
Damn. Yeah, he's in fucking so much shit.
Parks and Rec right there.
He's
is
like the most handsome man that's ever lived. How are we forgetting his name right now?
A few moments later.
There's a store with his last name.
Rob Lowe.
Yep.
Yeah, Rob Lowe. That's right. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Why that took us so... I'm sorry, listeners.
Little tangent there.
But yeah. Anyways, love that. I addicted to that show and its drama. So
I'm gonna have to watch it because I've seen commercials for it and I've always kind of been like, huh. But I've always just like, I don't know, when it comes to like cop things like that, I'm just such an SVU fan.
Yeah.
I'm like Mariska Hargitay all the way. No, I should get into that for sure. Because they have multiple.
The Lone Star one is only. This will be the 5th season, so it's not a crazy amount. There is some seasons that have a lot of episodes.
It just started in like 2019 or whatever, right? 2020 or something.
And then the other one is just 911, and it takes place in LA. So we got a Texas one and a LA one.
Okay. All right.
What about your shows?
Oh god, Google's yelling at me on my phone. The one I put, because again I only put one. I wasn't specific on this, so that's my bad. Was Daredevil Born Again. That is my number one most anticipated show that I'm looking forward to in 2025. But literally everything you wrote that you just listed outside of 911, because I haven't watched that.
Yeah.
Everything else you listed are things that I'm like, fuck yes about. Like I'm stoked for them. But Daredevil Born Again is... Yeah,
that's at my top of my list.
Yeah, and that was the first thing you said. Yeah, same. And it's... it's a revival kind of all in and of it.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause it's like going to, but also not gonna play off the Netflix stuff. It's a lot of the same characters, but it's gonna be a brand new thing. And I don't know. I'm excited to get to see the iteration of Daredevil that we loved continue in the MCU.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really fucking cool thing that Feige was like, no, let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
You know, like fuck what they did not under us. Let's use these same people because the fan base loves them so much.
Yeah.
They listened. They legit listened, and I don't feel like you see that a ton.
Not a lot.
But like they actually fucking listened and were like, dude, he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
We need this. So
yeah.
I'm super excited for that too. Yeah. All right. Movies.
All right, movies, and this one is in no particular. There's a big slate of things, but 28 years later, Captain America, Brave New World, The Electric State, The Accountant 2, Thunderbolts, Superman.
The Accountant 2. That's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that's coming. Yeah,
I didn't even fucking know that.
I know there are going to be some of these list that we're going to put on.
We're going to talk about in the future. Yeah, for sure. I didn't even know that was happening.
I Know What You Did Last Summer is supposed to come out. Fantastic Four, and then Final Destination Bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
So pumped for that.
Same. Like I said, I had 3 on here because I just couldn't pick between them. You named 2 of them, 28 Years Later and the Fantastic Four, First Steps. The third one's The Gorge.
With
Miles Teller.
I don't know why it wasn't on. I thought I typed it in, but I'm really excited about that one.
I almost, because again, my original thought to this was like we were gonna name one.
Yeah.
I didn't specify that. Whatever, and so it doesn't matter. But in my mind, when I was going through this, I was like, I almost put The Gorge as the number one. Just the trailer for that movie got me so fucking hyped, and I'm like, fuck. But then I was like, oh fuck, 28 years later, that's gonna be fucking like, that's just a continuance of something that we've loved and we've talked about a lot. Yeah. And then obviously Fantastic Four.
We haven't even seen a trailer.
We haven't seen a trailer for it. No, we've seen like leaked footage of Galactus.
When do you think that falls? Probably February.
Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
It's gonna be Super Bowl, and then like the Super Bowl will probably be the first trailer, and then followed by trailers viewing in the previews of Captain America: Brave New World is what my assumption is going to be.
Makes sense.
But anyways, it's because it comes out in July, so like that's the perfect time for it to. It's like the same time frame as Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
It came out in July. They dropped the first trailer at Super Bowl, so it would make complete sense. But those are the 3 that I put on there. 28 years later. I mean, it's just fucking long time coming for this to get to
I wanted to sequel right then and there when I saw that.
Yeah, right. But to get a sequel that ends a trilogy that starts a new trilogy is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right? That's another thing that I don't feel like we've seen very often of or very much of. So that's just super cool in and of itself. And then Fantastic Four again is just like, we are fingers crossed that this is the one that fucking lands. Yeah. Because like them or not, the others didn't.
Yeah.
There's no other way to look at it. They just didn't land well, even though I personally I enjoyed all 3. I enjoyed watching them, but I also completely understand.
Yeah.
Like the downfalls of them. And then The Gorge is just.
It looks great.
The movie looks so it's so interesting to me. It hits so many different aspects of everything that we cover and love on this show so well. Exactly. And the trailer for it just looks so fucking, again, it's like primarily, at least from what we saw in the trailer, we saw 3 people in the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, no, I take that back. We saw a handful more because we saw a little bit of Oh, I forget the actress's name, but the actress,
Anna Taylor.
yeah, and Anya Taylor-Joy,
yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy. We see a little bit of her backstory, right, as like a fucking spy, assassin, whatever the fuck she is. Yeah. So you see a couple extra people, but like in the meat of it, you see like the dude that's introducing Miles Teller to the station. You see Miles Teller, you see her. Yeah, like that seems like it's like that. So it's like kind of another like flight where it's like. It seems like it's going to be like primarily just a couple of actors making the whole movie. And I'd like that. I enjoy that type of, that type of, I don't know what the fuck you call that, but
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I'm stoked for everything you said, and I'm stoked for those three. And
all right, man.
Brother.
Cheers to 2025.
2025, episode 31.
Hell yeah. Raw on Netflix next week. What
God
a time.
damn. 3 hour SmackDowns?
What a time to be alive.
It's fucking amazing.
On the Triple B podcast.
Let's do it. Polish it. Polish it. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Oh, God.
It's the first episode of 2025. Put it down. 3, 2, 1.
I ain't no bitch.
Let's fucking go.